Good morning, everyone. Jonathan J. Reinhardt here from Wargaming Recon, coming at you with another pandemic coffee break. So today is Wednesday, May 27, 2020, and I am working from home. And just like when I'm at work, I'm having my coffee break, and I'm having it with you. So today I have a Mary Lou's beverage. No, we are not sponsored by Mary Lou's. And this is a funky phenomenal, no sugar in it, just cream. This is every type of iced coffee with all the mocha you can imagine in the world so that it doesn't taste like coffee at all. Really my favorite kind of beverage right here. And I love it so much. So this will take me ages to drink. This is not just like a one-day drink. This is I have some and put it in the fridge and have some again and keep on going at it. I hope that you have your favorite beverage here. And if you're watching us, whether live or after the fact, because we save these videos onto YouTube and to our Facebook page as well, please drop a comment to let us know that you're here and what you're thinking, and feel free to interact with us as we continue through the video. So it looks like today we have some news to share with everyone. So we're going to start off this morning with some news here, and I want to share us all the way over to where this news is. It's about Bacchus Miniatures, and you can see here they have a thing up on their Facebook page right here, which is a whole update that you can see. And it suffices to say that because of the pandemic, they are in business, but they're not able to be fully staffed because they can't meet the criteria for social distancing and protective measures. And this has an interesting side effect. So because they can't be fully staffed, as it says here, they have to turn off taking orders from time to time. So they had opened up the ability to place orders with them back in April. It was just a few days, and those few days have filled them up with so many orders from then all the way till now, and they're still working on filling these orders and casting everything that they need to get this stuff sent out and ready for people to do. It's also resulted in some special FAQs that you should be aware of in case you want to place any orders with Bacchus. So generally speaking, excuse me, if you're ordering anything from them that does not need to be cast, rule books or, flags and things like that, it doesn't matter. You can just go ahead and order and they'll take care of it. Otherwise, if it's stuff that they have to cast, they can't really give time frames. People might be curious about when will my order be ready? When will it get shipped and all that kind of stuff. And they say here that basically they can't give you tracking information. They can't really say when things will be ready or not. And they can't really say that how quickly stuff will come. That basically because of the world being weird and the pandemic and everything, delivery times are taking longer. Everything's kind of taking longer. I can attest to that. It took a long time for me to get my bunnies from Bad Squirrel Games, but I figure it's across the pond, and the way it comes, that's just how it is. And another thing that's kind of an interesting situation with Bacchus is that, and I never knew this, but in the past, if you placed an order with them, you can always get in touch with them and say, oh, actually, can I add more to my order? I want to give you more money. And you would think that would be a great thing for a business. And I guess in the past, they would say, okay, if it was just like a few things that people wanted to do. But now, because people have so much time on their hands and people are home and people feel out of control, and so they're doing some retail therapy, and I guess knowing that Bacchus can only take orders for a limited time, that people are tripling their orders and doubling their orders, and knowing that that is unfair to people who are further down in the queue, Bacchus is not allowing this at this time. And another thing is that they honestly cannot 100% say when they will allow orders again. They think that it'll take, perhaps a few weeks for them to get caught up, but it's going to be kind of this surge and then wait and surge and then wait kind of situation going on. So really, if you need anything from Bacchus, I would strongly recommend that you don't. And I'm not saying don't support them, but give them time to catch up and then get it. But use this time really to streamline your order, to really figure out all the things you want to get so that you're not adding stuff in later on and having them tell you no, whatever. Get it all together, get it really ready, think, plan it out, figure out how much money you're really going to spend, what you really need, and then get it in. And I believe they're not basing sequence based off size of order or anything like that. So I don't think they'd say like we're taking small orders first and larger orders later or other way around. I really think it's first come, first serve. So this way, when you plan your order out and get all that ready and everything, you will then be able to just get into their web store as quickly as possible, place your order, and get it ready for all that. So just kind of some crazy stuff that's going on here with Bacchus. It's something you wouldn't, I guess, necessarily think about, but it's something of which we should be aware. And actually, I read a really interesting article the other day. It might have been in The Guardian. I can't be 100% positive, so I'm not going to attribute it to them, but it may have been them, where a bookstore owner, a small independent bookstore owner, was saying how, although they're being allowed to open up again, it must not have been in The Guardian. I'm going to say New York Times. It doesn't matter. I think it was over here in the States. That because they're being allowed to open up again, they don't really want to open up fully. They don't really want people coming in the store again. And it's not that they have had a change of heart, that they don't want business, but they're wary about what could happen, about exposure and stuff. And then also the fact that a lot of these small businesses, especially in the hobby, right, if they have stores, think of your local hobby store. These new measures, depending on where you're at, but here in Massachusetts and here in the States, in different parts of the States, the new measures are requiring all sorts of protective gear and all sorts of changes for the stores that have been closed. So, for example, where I work, it's not a store, but one of the regulations that we have to follow for businesses is that we have to be able to have a fully blocked off thing, whether it's plexiglass or whatever, for the height of a average person when standing. Now, I'm taller than the height of an average person, so there's that. But you're talking about 6 feet or so. Not every place has that. Those plexiglass things are very expensive for places to get. So to get those shields to put up at registers, to put them up wherever, you're probably looking at hobby shops maybe not being able to have game days anytime soon, or have any time of just casual gaming. We're talking just being able to go in and shop. They'll probably still have to limit the number of people who are in there, and it'll be like the grocery stores. This aisle goes this way, and that aisle goes this way. There are only so many people, or whatever, and just being able to have all that protective stuff or lock off sections of the store, it's going to be really hard. So some of these business owners may not have it in the budget, because I'm pretty sure no one planned on be like, I'm going to need protective gear in case there's a virus outbreak. Businesses tend not to think about that. I don't think. I'm going to go out on a limb on that. So they may not have the money for it, especially if they've been hurting. And then also, they may not want to be there in person with customers. They may want to kind of be able to do things as they have been, where they can take online orders, email orders, phone orders, catalog orders, whatever, and then ship it to you, or do curbside pickup if you're nearby. So just kind of be aware of this, and don't be like, oh wait, everything's open up, I'm gonna go and buy all my minis and all my paints and all my stuff that I've ran out of. Maybe take a moment, take a collective breath, and maybe place an order online. Get in touch with your local gaming store and say, hey, well, how are you handling it? No pressure. Let's just think about this for a moment. Let's take a peek at the chat in the comments to see what's happening there right now. So we have Robert. Good morning, Robert. Thank you for joining us. And Dale, hello, Dale. Thank you for tuning in today. And Pseudo Asthma Attack. Hello, Pseudo Asthma Attack. And so we have Rob here. Howdy. Drinking hands out of a hand solo mug with Texas pecan again. And then Dale says, I didn't get my English Civil War order in before the closure. Maybe may put this on hold for a while. And saying Bacchus does have great figures. So, yeah. So you might want to wait, Dale. That's a great idea. Or maybe, like I said, just plan on specifically exactly what you want and then get your order in when they open up shop. But be aware it's going to take a while for them to get to you. And this is probably going to last quite a while for them. I don't think you're looking at like weeks of them doing this. I think you're looking at probably months or maybe the rest of this year. Or at least maybe into the fall, perhaps, of them being like, okay, open up ordering for a day or two. Oh, wait, no, we filled. No more. And then like 2 months later, open up orders again. Oh, wait, no, we filled. And maybe that kind of thing going on there. I have some cool news to share with you, though. It's not all. This is really good. I'm sorry. I just want to say they were like, that'd be boring as heck for you. I have some exciting news to share, actually. So maybe it's better if I show you. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to show you something, and I think you might pick up if you've been here for a while watching these pandemic coffee breaks and hearing some things I've been saying. You might just pick up on something. So right here, we're at my Wargaming Recon YouTube channel. And look at that. We're up to 166 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe now. So we just scroll down and we see, look at this. We have some videos here for people. And actually, let's do this again. Yeah, subscriber. Much better. So this is what you would see if you're a subscriber to the channel. And let's just go ahead and see if you happen to pick up on anything. Do you happen to notice anything? Anything in particular? Is it? Can you tell? You might want to look in the left corner of it. Oh, wait, what's this video? Oh, look at that. It's a Gettysburg Kickstarter sneak peek with Jorg. The same video, exact same video that YouTube took down for saying it violated community guidelines without saying exactly what it was. The one that I appealed and didn't expect to ever get anywhere. They very quietly unremoved it. It's back. We won. Yay! So excited. Look at that. It's there. This is live on the channel. I thought this was never coming back. I thought YouTube was going to be like, hey, whatever. We don't care. We're YouTube. We're owned by Alphabet and by Google and whatevs. It doesn't matter. This is here. It's live. The appeal worked. I never thought it was going to work. Never. Really, really excited about this, though. And it means that people can go ahead and watch the video on YouTube. And, I mean, geez, look at this. This is awesome. It's right here for all of you to enjoy if you so choose. I know a lot of you had said you wanted to. So I had also put it up on the Wargaming Recon website for people to access, and it has been on the Facebook page as well. But it's nice to know that it's back on YouTube and that YouTube just maybe does things right sometimes. And I have to guess that that it triggered a keyword, right? Because we mentioned pandemic or 3D printing. Those are the only things I can really think of, right? That it hit a keyword and some bot or automated process was like, no, goodbye. And that when it went to a person, they were like, wait, what? And that just kind of goes to show that now with the pandemic, how so much of this is being automated, how we need to be more careful and mindful of that kind of stuff. And I know when I did the appeal, I made mention that like these are things that Jorg is making himself based off historic things. Basically, like the design's not copyrighted, nothing's copyrighted. He paid for all this stuff, everything's good. We're not misleading or anything. And it worked. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's a unexpected win. I happened to see it last night. I was on YouTube, as I'm there a lot, and probably too much. Shh, don't tell anyone. And I was like, "Oh, let's just go to the channel," because I wanted to see how the channel looked. And I was scrolling down, and I said, "Wait a sec, what is this? This isn't supposed to be there. They took it down." And I look at my email and no messages from them. Normally they'll follow up with a message being like, "Oh, here we fixed or whatever." Even in an automated thing, nothing. It's as if they wanted to sweep it under the rug and pretend it never happened. So they were very sneaky, both in removing it in the middle of the night, probably when automated processes run, right? And sending that automated message, but then also in reinstating it and not saying a darn thing. So that if I hadn't looked, I wouldn't have known. And I guess it just goes to show, please not only subscribe and hit that bell for notifications, but check the channel out because there's stuff there that you might like. So that's pretty cool. And Jill says, "Way to fight the power." And Robert says, "Great news. I wanted to see the Gettysburg preview video. It's really cool. And there's some good stuff in there. Some wonky audio about halfway through where I talk and then you hear it on Jorg's end and on my end. So you get this double thing going on. It's, I don't know, some weird thing with the speakers, but I'm so excited. So that's good stuff. It's not often you get that kind of win in life. You take it, especially against the big boys, right? Because I really firmly believe that tech does not care about us. And when I say tech, I don't mean like our phone. Obviously, our phone doesn't care about us. But I mean the companies, the Apples, the Googles, the Alphabets, Hewlett Packards, the Microsofts, whatever. They don't care. The Facebooks, none of them. They don't care about us. They care about them. They care about their business. They care about what their business is valued by, which for people like Facebook, it's valued by us because they want our information. For Apple, that a little bit, but they want us more as customers, right? So just interesting about that. It's nice to have a win. So thank you, Alphabet, Google, and YouTube for admitting you were wrong, even though you didn't admit it, not with words, but sometimes actions speak louder than words. So that's very, very cool. What else did I want to share with you today? I thought maybe I could take a moment, if you'll indulge me, and do a callback of a sort to yesterday and also to the first Working Recon episode. And the first Working Recon episode really was inspired by, and partially included, I believe, me reading part of The Hobbit. The first paragraph, I think, or so. And I'm not going to read The Hobbit now because that's boring. And you've all read it already, right? But what I am going to do is I discovered that the Ichabod, which I mentioned yesterday, is up. It has its own website, and you can get at it now. They're all the way up to chapter 5. And I wanted to share this with all of you, first of all, because I mentioned yesterday as being a thing, and I'm really, really super excited about this. But I thought that maybe I could read just a bit of the first chapter. So let's head on over there to the first chapter so you can see the Ichabod. This is by J.K. Rowling. I talked about it yesterday. Some of you might not be interested in it, but maybe your children are if you have kids. And so chapter 1 is King Fred the Fearless. And just read a portion of it because I think really you can tell a lot about the story by this beginning. And really my purpose for this is when we're doing world building for games or for our own creations or designing scenarios or anything, it's really nice to be able to create the setting and the scene. And I just thought that J.K. Rowling does that so well that it'd be nice to kind of share a little bit of how she's doing it with this story and to kind of help us to reground ourselves for any story building that we might be doing, whether it's for role-playing games, which obviously as a cooperative narrative has a lot more of that, but even for like board games that we're playing or minis and things like that, I think there's still a fair degree of world building in there and scene building. So let's take a moment here, if you will all indulge me, as we just do a bit of this here and see what you all happen to think. So again, this is at theicabog.com, THEICKABOG.com. And this is all one word. So chapter 1, King Fred the Fearless. No, I'm not reading the whole chapter. Don't worry. I'm not going to put you to sleep like that unless you want me to read. I've been told by people before that my voice is soothing. I don't know if that's true. I hate my voice, but that it's soothing and people like when I read to them. So I'm no LeVar Burton by any stretch of the imagination, nor Dolly Parton, both who do amazing story times for people. But I can read just a bit of this. King Fred the Fearless. Once upon a time, there was a tiny country called Cornucopia, which had been ruled for centuries by a long line of fair-haired kings. The king at the time of which I write was called King Fred the Fearless. He'd announced the fearless bit himself on the morning of his coronation, partly because it sounded nice with Fred, but also because he'd once managed to catch and kill a wasp all by himself, if you didn't count 5 footmen and the boot boy. King Fred the Fearless came to the throne on a huge wave of popularity. He had lovely yellow curls, a fine sweeping mustache, and looked magnificent in the tight breeches, velvet doublets, and ruffled shirts that rich men wore at the time. Fred was said to be generous, smiled and waved whenever anyone caught sight of him, and looked awfully handsome in the portraits that were distributed throughout the kingdom to be hung in town halls. The people of Cornucopia were most happy with their new king, and many thought he'd end up being even better at the job than his father, Richard the Righteous, whose teeth, though nobody had liked to mention it at the time, were rather crooked. King Fred was secretly relieved to find out how easy it was to rule Cornucopia. In fact, the country seemed to run itself. Nearly everybody had lots of food, the merchants made pots of gold, and Fred's advisors took care of any little problem that arose. All that was left for Fred to do was beam at his subjects whenever he went out in his carriage and go hunting 5 times a week with his 2 best friends, Lord Spittleworth and Lord Flapoon. So I just think just in that bit right there, you kind of get the whole feeling really for this place, this kingdom, and maybe some teasers for some conflict that'll come. And obviously for wargaming, we might not have the value of having that much space in which to describe our worlds. Let's pretend like we're running a game at a event, a convention or something, and you're trying to set the scene. You might only have a couple sentences. So you actually really have to condense and get to the base of it, the essence, much quicker than the Ichabod. And you might have to do it in a way that uses more descriptive words, more keywords, as we might say for web speak, and that you might want to mention things like what war it's in, setting, is it North America, is it 1800s, is it 2020, like when is it, and some of these things, these keywords will pop out and fill in blanks for your players. And so I think it's just really valuable to kind of think like this. And many of us wargamers may not read a whole lot of fiction, but I think it's helpful to take some time to read the fiction and to look at how well written pieces of fiction are created and how they're presented to people. So that's just something to take a peek at. And now that I put you all to sleep, I can tell you the real secrets for my world domination. Drink Funky Fanables, and you will go far. No, I have no idea if that will happen, but that's just Funky Fanables are good. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's about all that I have today for all of you. I do want to say that. Oh, there's one other thing. Actually, I do want to say. So I can't remember if I've announced it, but Joshua, who is our audio editor, is taking a leave. His grandfather is terminally ill, and so that means he won't be editing audio for a while. And I hope all the best for him during this time, and that he's able to take care of stuff that he needs to take care of. I can't imagine about knowing that your loved one is terminally ill. That has to be hard. So I will be editing audio, which means that it's not going to sound as good as when Joshua does it. He did manage to edit one last piece of audio, which will be coming out. I guess it came out on Monday. So that was the last one. We have another show that was recorded, and I'll have to edit the audio. So like I said, it won't be as nice, but we'll keep on managing. We have backup plans for this kind of stuff and get that going as well. So this kind of reminds me of the old days where I did all the show notes and I did all the audio editing, and I did a lot of everything. And I'm really, 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 really spoiled. Jamie writes the show notes, and he's on a bit of a break right now because they had some tech malfunctions there that are being resolved. And then Joshua now with this. And I tell you, I don't miss audio editing. I really don't. I like just being able to do the show and the planning and the other stuff and the things that I really like, that I feel I'm better at. And spending time with all of you. So I've always been grateful for each of their help. And I'm very, very grateful and eager for them to come back for when they can. But obviously they have to take whatever time they need for different reasons. So thank you, everyone. And please, you remember the most important thing from today. Do not trust Karen on Facebook. No. Karen is wrong. She lies. She tells falsehoods. That's right, falsehoods. How dare I say such a thing? But she does. She lies. Don't listen to Karen on Facebook. So, who do you listen to? Experts, scientists, doctors, medical professionals, people who know what they're talking about. Haha. And if you don't know how to figure out if someone's an expert and knows what they're talking about, who can you talk to? A librarian. Because people who work in libraries want to help you find the truth and help you find the information you need. That's not, burnished up when it's really not as shiny underneath as it might seem to be. So check that out. And until tomorrow, please be kind to yourself and to others. Remember, good enough is good. We will get through this. It just takes some time. So thank you all for spending this time with me. And thank you for listening to me read the Ichabod a little bit. And until next time, you know the deal. No matter how busy you are, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how much time you're thinking, what do I want to buy from Bacchus? I really need to plan that out for when I can place my order next. You know that you have to keep on gaming. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Be well.